Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on Your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today I want to talk about the importance of tanking and how tiny mistakes can have a huge impact on the outcome of the game. Now, some of the gameplay I'm going to show you is a little bit controversial because it was uploaded by our friend Lonehawk and unfortunately taken the wrong way. He did destroy us, but because it wasn't shown in the right light, he has removed the video. But we're not going to let ourselves off easy. We got destroyed and I want to go through why with you guys so I can learn from it myself, but also hopefully help some of you guys out too. So we're playing Ilios and we're playing with some subscribers and friends, and I'm playing on Lucio, not DPS, so I get to see all of this firsthand and all of the mistakes and stuff that happen. A little disclaimer I'll throw out first is that the tanks we're playing with are very, very good. But there was a couple of tiny mistakes that added up to a big problem. So straight away here you'll see that the enemy team win the shield battle very quickly. Before we even get a crack in theirs, our shield is already gone. The reason this happened is because our Roadhog was trying to hit hooks, but really it would have been a lot more helpful, I think, for him to shred the shield to win that battle, because as you see, we lose the shield battle, our Ryan jumps out of the way, we all get fire struck, he gets like 4 hits with it, and then our Ryan decides to pin in a little bit late. So the two options really to solve this, guys, is we could have either won the shield battle with the Roadhog helping shoot it and making sure we were all focus firing on it, or once the shield was gone, our Ryan could have took the initiative and pinned, and Bokan is an exceptionally good Ryan, I believe within the top 500 or so. Usually he would take that pin, but he didn't. He dodged it and we all died. If he had pinned the Reinhardt instead and he hadn't got that fire strike off and we'd healed and initiated with the Reinhardt, that's only one tiny little difference. If we'd have pinned him rather than not pinning him, the chances of us winning that fight are much higher. So the two solutions we could have had were shred it or pin it, one or the other. Now, because of what happens in the first fight, we also get rolled in the second, but something happens before that, and I think this is very important to note for people that play Reinhardt. You'll see that we're actually shielding way before we initiate in the fight, so our Reinhardt shield is already getting wrecked. Now, it does get recovered a tiny little bit before we go back in and initiate properly, but once again, by the time we're behind it, before we're even in there, we're all taking damage and the Ryan shield's gone again. Once more, we get wrecked, but this time it's because of the snowball from that tiny mistake in the first part of the game. We get slammed down through the shield because the shield's absolutely wrecked and we all get team wiped like it's nothing. Absolute destruction and nothing we could have done, but so far it's already looking terrible, and so far we haven't even tilted or played badly. We just lost out on a silly little mistake at the start and it's really costing us so far in this game. Now from here what we try to do is drop the Ryan for a Winston to initiate and also take a Tracer to take multiple angles, but once again, because we've been so destroyed, we still have no ults, but the enemy do have theirs. We try to get a bit of initiation. You'll see in a second that the Genji ult comes in and is pretty much rip. They all turn around and focus the Winston for the most part, and we have a Genji on 3 of us who's ulting and just wipes through us like it's nothing. A similar thing happens in the final fight. I get a pretty nice boop on the soldier to get him off the map, but unfortunately I get swung, they have ults again, and we just generally get wrecked. So this is the part of the lesson I want to mention so far, guys, and that's that us playing a little bit worse than we should, and the enemy team, credits to them, they played exceptionally well. I think Lonehawk throughout this whole game doesn't die, or dies once or twice maybe, and the Reinhardt on the enemy team, who we spoke about with Lonehawk, this guy played incredible, and just that tiny mistake snowballs the fight. So we go into the second game, not tilted so much yet, with the same strategy, picking the Ryan in order to win the shield battle in the right situation. We decide to go to the left hand side because we think it's better for us to win. We take the peak battle and we start actually winning it at the start, but our Roadhog again tries to hit a hook rather than shredding the shield. We go round to initiate onto someone that has been hooked. Unfortunately, I get stuck on the corner and wrecked, and me doing that, making that one mistake, probably cost us the fight there too. If I'd gone back round to the left rather than round the corner with my friends, I could have healed from the back, booped someone away, maybe won the fight once more. From that little mistake I made and we made, it snowballs again and it's already in a bad situation. Now, something else that happened in that fight as well was we didn't have any aggressive nades to stop the enemy team healing, and they did get an aggressive nade on us. What that does, we can't heal, they can deal out all the damage they want and there's nothing we can do about it. So an nade as well is a big deal. Now what happens next is something I like to call tilt picking. I take Tracer on 130 or so ping, and I can guarantee you that is not the hero you want to be taking on them kinds of connections. Now yes, it could have been a good pick along with the Winston, who should be diving. Unfortunately, when the Winston does dive, not only does it do it too early, I'm not able to follow up on it. His shields go down, but he can't actually kill anything because the healers are healing each other and everyone starts focusing him, and our comp is all over the place. And this, guys, is tilt at its finest. Whether you realize it at the time or not, when you look back on it, it's obvious. And if you guys can record your gameplay to reflect upon it, I recommend doing it because sometimes you just can't tell in game. We did decide though that a dive comp would be good, and I still feel like it could have worked if the guy going Tracer wasn't on a lot of ping. It's a lot easier to play it when you're much nearer the enemy's connection, because 100 ping difference between me and the enemy DPS is a big deal, and I lose nearly all of these fights due to pressing recall and it not counting because of the ping. It really makes that big of a difference. If anyone's ever played Mei on ping, the same thing will happen when you try to shield yourself in her icicle. When you do it, sometimes you can still die when you're inside it for the first second or so because you're so far behind. So the tilt picking didn't work. I should have stayed on some kind of a healer or go Winston myself, which you'll see I actually decided to do in the last round of the game. Now, once again here, another small mistake from a tank makes a huge impact to the game. So we're actually fighting up quite close here and we're winning the fight by quite a bit. Now FREEDO says we're winning this fight, take some nice ground in order to get the point in a minute. But Bokan sees it opposite. He actually decides for the first time this game to pin in. Now this isn't necessarily a terrible idea, however there's no one to follow up on it and he dies almost instantly. Everything's lit on the enemy team and I decide to try and dive in and clear it out, but once again they get a great nade and we don't. Two mistakes again, a little bit of wrong initiation, we get like no ult charge and the enemy team get all the ult charge in the world, and they realize at this point we're going to capitalize on this. These guys are having a bad game. We've won the first fight, we're getting our ults already, and every time we try and regroup, an ult comes at us or someone's tilted and we dive in the wrong place and it all goes to hell. So, if you play a tank within Overwatch, always know that your job is to protect your team for the most part and also initiate at the right times. As I said before, the enemy Reinhardt played pretty much perfectly. Every time we tried to regroup, he would either slam someone down or pin them to the wall or off the side of the galaxy. Whereas our Reinhardt, who is probably a better Reinhardt overall than this guy, didn't play as well, played 10% worse, and that is the difference in snowballing a fight to actually snowballing it yourself. And that is the difference between snowballing the enemy or getting snowballed yourself. And what I mean by that is like a snowball rolling downhill, picking up more snow, right? Well, they picked up all the snow in the form of ultimates and rolled down that hill all the way through our team in every single round from tiny tank mistakes at the start of the game. Now I've highlighted how things could have been done differently. When we had Ryan, it was pinning or wrecking their shield. And this is also a thing in solo Q2, and it's why people won't follow up on some initiation. I don't know how many times I've seen someone say in our comments, I kill people and then my team don't follow up. Well, the reason is exactly what I've shown you guys here. Even though you've got that pick, people are reluctant to push forward and they trust their team to do so because they're so scared of making these mistakes because they're such a big part of the game and you don't want to be made to look like the guy that is doing it. So many times do I hear people say, you shouldn't pin as Reinhardt, just use your shield. That's not true at all, but it's getting them timings down that make the difference, because your job is to initiate as a tank a lot of the time, but it's also to shield at the right ones too, and that few percent difference means you get wrecked or be the guy that wrecks. I think the last thing to say is GG's to Lone Hawk. Him and the people he landed played well. I believe that they were slightly higher ranked than us, but that's not an excuse to get rolled like this. I mean, it's happened to me where we've been rolled like this, and I've matched up with the same team next game and absolutely rolled them. I'm also not embarrassed to say that I've lost to way worse teams than this. The teams that I never should have lost to due to tilt, due to tiny mistakes that snowballed and cost us everything. So guys, let us know what you think. Have you been snowballed and not known why and just thought, why are we getting so wrecked, and then getting really frustrated and wound up about it? Because the chances are it was just tiny mistakes that got out of hand. But lots of little mistakes make a big one, and when the enemy team are also playing well, it looks like that destruction that just happened to us. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Be sure to check out our Twitter, our live stream, and our Discord, where you can get loads of information and streams and different things, and I hope you enjoy them when you check them out. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.